You can see how big is this fight. No, I think this fight is huge, and
This is a great fight for both of these guys in this point of their career. This is what boxing is made of.
Boots Ennis is certainly one of the pound for pound best.
I'm looking forward to seeing if Xander Zayas can outbox Jaron Ennis.
That speed, that power, that elusive defense.
I think this fight is going to definitely show what both fighters have in them.
If it is the right time for Xander, and he's able to pull this off and beat Boots on points, or somehow hurt Boots and stop Boots and put on a great performance, Puerto Rico has their next great star.
I respect Sayas for taking those decisions and taking this fight because honestly, it's a hard fight. But he has the heart, he has the will to do it, and you got to respect that.
Yeah, I'm being Paul Barrow. I hope I'm saying it right. Paul Barrier. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm getting ready. Because Xander Zayas about to get his ass whooped. Oh, he about to get whooped. Oh, God.
Now they're in the inside with you. Now they can't move as much. Now that so just based off my experience and things like that, I think he could get the job done if he goes the body real tight like Miguel Cotto. But all respect to Xander. I mean, he has two belts on the line. It's only upside for Boots Ennis, and he still took the fight.
And that's a tough fight, especially for Xander at this point in his career. But it shows his heart and his confidence, that he have in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country. And he's going to do real well in that fight.
Keep being loved by the people. I feel like I gotta continue to do my job inside the ring and let people put me wherever they want to put me in that place.
On the night of June 27th, the entire junior middleweight division stands on the verge of a massive transformation as Jaron, Boots, Ennis, and Xander Zayas finally collide inside the legendary Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. With both elite fighters officially completing their brutal training camps and arriving in the city, the endless trash talk, predictions, and promotional
I've been working on everything that I think is going to work on fight night. Obviously, we create a game plan. We work hard. We have the work ethic, the dedication, the hungriness. You guys have seen a little bit of it. So, it's nothing new. We're here to work. We're here to put in work, have a good time, but overall, push each other to the limits, bring the best out of each other. That's the only way we all gonna shine when the bright lights come.
Rather than choosing the traditional route of accepting a safe and carefully selected showcase opponent to preserve his perfect record, the 23-year-old Xander Zayas has boldly decided to sprint directly toward the toughest challenge of his entire career. By courageously placing his WBO and WBA junior middleweight world championships on the line, he has created a blockbuster showdown with Boots Ennis, a fighter many consider the most avoided and feared man in boxing today. The entire boxing world is now debating whether this incredible confidence represents the rise of a generational super.
He's an underdog against Ennis, and I know you know boxing to understand why that would be, given how talented Ennis is, all his talent. But even with him being an underdog, all the talent Ennis has, are you picking Xander to win that fight? And how does he win that fight as an underdog in 2 weeks from now in that main event?
I think he can win that fight. And I told a lot of these people that if he could come real tight, like Miguel Cotto, real tight, not try to do anything crazy and work the body. I haven't seen anybody work the body on Jaron Ennis. Nobody. And look, nobody likes body shots. I don't care who you are. Oscar was dropped with a body shot against his own will, against Bernard Hopkins, like things like that. Nobody likes body shots. So I've been in there with some slick fighters like Jerome and, that are sharp and things like that. You touch that body, they start fading. They start, now they're in the inside with you. Now they can't move as much. Now that, so just based off my experience and things like that, I think he could get the job done if he goes the body real tight like Miguel Cotto. But all respect to Xander. I mean, he has two belts on the line. It's only, upside for Boots Ennis, and he still took the fight. Xander still put the fight together, and called for the fight, and I have nothing but respect for him. Win, lose, or draw, you got to give a different level of respect for Xander Zayas after that night.
By fully embracing his role as the underdog in the global betting markets, Zayas has brilliantly shifted the immense burden of expectation and psychological pressure directly onto the shoulders of Jaron Ennis. This strategic move has created an extremely volatile atmosphere where every mistake could change the course of either fighter's career forever. The tension surrounding this champion.
If not, I'm gonna go 12 rounds and make it look easy.
We want to see all the stuff. And then
we're gonna handle business at 154. Take care of everybody at 154, and so on and so forth. I will be undisputed at 154 though, for sure.
You know who else at 154?
I don't care who at 154.
Boy,
I don't care who. This is my division. Like, this is my division. All right. And I said this to one of my homies. I'm like, bro, like, let you look at it, like, at 154, these guys gonna make the most money fighting me. Mm-hmm. I'm really the cash cow at 154 for real. So these guys can fight this guy, fight that, fight that guy, but when they fight me, I'm the cash cow. They're gonna make the most money fighting me, and that's with anybody at the division. So they gotta see me. I got the biggest name, I got the hottest name. I'm the best fighter at 154. They gotta see me.
As both fighters finally step onto the scales for the official weigh-in ceremony, the worldwide boxing community has reached a fever pitch with one final wave of predictions and analysis. The sport remains sharply divided, with former champions and respected analysts presenting completely different visions of how this Saturday night showdown will unfold. Rising star Brooke Mullen predicts a dominant performance, believing Ennis' superior ring IQ and elite experience will overwhelm the young champion before ending matters with a devastating third-round knockout. Meanwhile, Zayas has fired back by insisting his elite movement and footwork will expose Ennis as a flat-footed power puncher whose resume has been heavily protected. At the same time, East Coast boxing purists believe Ennis will use a flawless Philly shell defense to cruise toward a commanding 120-108 unanimous decision victory.
And a little bit unexpected. People didn't expect him to take on someone like Boots, who is the boogeyman of the 54-pound division, who many think is the boogeyman.
At least from what I understand, from what I see here in Southern California, people want to see. People are excited about the fight because it's a big fight, man. It's a very important fight for both fighters. I myself admire and respect what Xander Zayas is doing, taking the hardest fight out there, unifying his title, and his first title defense was a unification, became a unified champion, and then you could keep yourself busy with stay busy fights, and maybe even continue fighting in Puerto Rico, grow your following. But this kid says no. If Virgil is not gonna do it, I'm jumping in. I want to, I'm gonna do it. I'm fighting Boots. I'm fighting the guy that people think is the best at 154. I want to show that I'm the best. So you got to respect that on Zayas, and I respect Zayas for taking those decisions and taking this fight because honestly, it's a hard fight. But he has the heart, he has the will to do it, and you got to respect that.
I got Boots. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's a real good fight. I think that they both have the style to beat us. I think they both have the style to beat each other. I think Zayas has the style to beat Boots, and Boots has the style to beat him. But I just got Boots. I mean, just because it's skill-wise, Boots is big. He's strong. He can take a punch. He has good head movement, he has good feet, durable, young. So for me, I would say Boots, but at the same time, you're
Of course, man. Look, at 23 years old, man, he's a unified champ. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in that position, right? And I think he's definitely on the clouds right now. And I think if he can continue that momentum and beat Boots, man, I think the sky's the limit for the kid.
Now, what about Boots? What do you think his best attributes are in the ring?
And he's slick. He's slick, and I think the best attribute about him is that he could create openings off of anything. He does all these little movements that he could find the opening. So I think him being able to create openings off anything, man, I think that's pretty special.
All right, man. Thank you for your time. And once again, who are you giving the advantage to that fight to?
If I'm a betting man, I'm going Boots.
I got Boots, man, and I low key don't even see a way that Xander's gonna be able to deal with Boots. I mean, they say he's gonna box him and stuff like that or whatever, but I don't think Zayas' power is really top tier to really keep Boots off. I think Boots is very versatile. I think he'll fight a better fight than the past fight.
Adding his own expert opinion to the debate, former world champion Tim Bradley is confidently predicting a late stoppage somewhere between rounds 9 and 11, citing specific data that indicates Zayas' difficult weight cut may cause his legs to betray him in the championship rounds. On the opposite side, highly respected trainer Jose Benavidez Sr. has labeled the fight a perfect 50-50 contest. He believes this historic battle will not simply be decided by skill.
But with Boots Ennis, it's hard to prepare for him because he's so instinctive and so creative with his offense. And it doesn't matter what position Boots is in. He can be lefty, righty. He can switch, throw a punch from any angle, right? Off one foot if he needed to. Like, go back and watch that. I think it's Lima's fight. Lima fight. Yeah. Go back and watch that fight. Boots got hit in the process and still was able to land that uppercut or that big shot that hurt Lima's. Yeah, that hurt Lima. Yes. You know, you can't prepare for that. You can't. Like, I get Xander Zayas is probably a little bit more technical from a position of keeping his hands up and protecting after he shoots. You know, being alert after he shoots a shot. Like, he's good at that. He's good at placing his shots as well. But he's slow. I didn't realize Xander was that slow. Good timing. Good timing, yeah, but he's slow. Boots is fast. Fast than a mother. Boots hit harder. When Boots land, you gonna know it. Even though Xander is bigger. But he's a big guy shrinking down. It takes a lot out of Xander to make that damn weight. That's gonna be his downfall in this fight too. He gonna run out of juice.
Despite the enormous anticipation surrounding this spectacular matchup, several of the most respected voices in boxing continue to question whether the timing of the fight is actually a mistake. Looking back at decades of boxing history and the painful lessons learned by legends of the past, these veterans warn that such a dangerous contest may have arrived too early for a developing fighter like Xander Zayas. They argue that the physical and mental risks are enormous.
Tough fight, you know, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, you know, that he have in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's going to do real well in that fight. You know, I just think, you know, right now, you know, it's a little bit too early for him.
Xander Zayas is the more controlled fighter in the sense that he has a regimented account for what he wants this fight to look like and how to get to where he's trying to go to, opposed to Boots, right? So you and I, we take off at the same time and we're racing. I'm clearly the faster car. I'm clearly the faster, better driver, but you know exactly how you want to get there. You're going to go down one street, you're going to go right. You're going to get to that street, you're going to go left. And you're going to go left, and then you're going to go right. And then you're going to zoom it down, and then you're going to make another right. While as me, I'm like, man, I'm going to go here, and then I get to a light, and I'm like, I can't stay at this light too long. And then I turn and I go down and I got a stop sign and I go in here and I'm here. You know, I feel as if Boots is the kind of fighter that has so many tools and so many things that he's capable of doing. I think he knows how fast he is. He knows how quick he is. He knows how powerful he is. And it's a matter of him saying, man, this is going to work. That's going to work. This going to work. That's going to work. Opposed to a Xander Zayas, and I know that I'm not wrong about this. Xander's going to come to the ring with, this is what we need. And if this isn't working, this is where we're going to go to. And then if this isn't working, we're going to try to figure it out from there. You know, I think that Xander's coming in with what I would consider to be a solid game plan, while I will look at Boots thinking that talent coming to the ring, and if you hold that talent, you know what's going to happen then, you know? So that's what I'm looking at in this fight. I still think it's, in some ways, it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm inclined to go with the talent because that talent is
undeniable.
It's just that.
Now that Fight Week has completely taken over the headlines, the narrative has shifted away from the promotional hype and toward the fascinating technical chess match that will unfold inside the ring. Zayas has spent the entire week promising reporters and fans that he will be the man who finally destroys the aura of invincibility surrounding Boots Ennis. His coaching staff claims they have invested hundreds of hours studying Ennis' previous fights and
But Xander Zayas is a very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age.
I love the matchup. Just, they're still two young guys. Boots is 28, but he's still a young guy. He's in his prime. And, Xander Zayas is 23. And when I look at this matchup initially, the first thing I think about, is it too soon for Xander Zayas? Is it a year too soon? Is it a year and a half too soon? Some would say, but he's still he's a two-time world champion. That doesn't mean that he's ready for this. I think Xander, and I like Xander a lot. I like him a lot personally. I like his movement. I like how he's carried himself, and I like him. I've seen his growth. Calling his fights on ESPN. He's got a lot to like. He's got the range. He's got the height. He's tough. He's got a whole country behind him, and he fully embraces trying to be the next great Puerto Rican champion. And he's gonna cause some problems for Boots Ennis throughout this fight. But my initial question is this too soon? Or is it the right time? Is it ripe and the right time for Xander Zayas? The Boots is he's a gym rat, and he lives boxing. He really loves the sport. And you see that when he fights. But the question or concern that I have for Boots is Boots has had his way so much that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots. And I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy. What if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for both guys. But if it is the right time for Xander, and he's able to pull this off and beat Boots on points, or somehow hurt Boots and stop Boots and put on a great performance, Puerto Rico has their next great star.
This detailed technical analysis completely changes the common perception of the fight and challenges the widespread belief that Ennis is an untouchable force of nature. While many fans are captivated by Ennis' switch-hitting brilliance and incredible hand speed, experienced boxing observers have pointed out that he often makes the dangerous mistake of admiring his work after landing a big shot. This habit of relaxing and dropping his guard in close range could provide a disciplined counterpuncher like Zayas with the perfect opportunity to land a fight-changing punch. Furthermore, the physical dynamics of this matchup have also
Xander will fight anybody. He's that kind of fighter. Super marketable fighter, so that's why I was surprised that they're taking this chance with him a little early. If he wins, he's a megastar. Ennis is one of the best fighters in the sport today. This is a fight I think both of them need, but I think Ennis needed it more because Ennis is a little older. With Zayas, you had time to wait on this kind of risk. So credit to both guys for making it. Credit to DAZN for making it, for getting all these promoters together and making these big fights. I think it's an exciting fight. For the reason that it's done at this point, I think it serves Ennis better. In 2 years, it would have served Zayas better. So we'll see if Zayas can pull this off, because he becomes a major star if he does. But Zayas is, again, he's the most marketable guy right now in this hemisphere, I think, as far as young guys. Not that Ennis isn't, again, but there's that Puerto Rican fan base. If you give them a champion like that with all the marketability that Zayas has, they will blend in very nicely into the modern boxing sphere.
Similar to Miguel Cotto and
Trinidad. This fight, yeah, you know what? Right? But Cotto was more ready at that point than for Judah. It was done at the right time for Cotto. It was a little bit after. It was after Judah. It was a little bit on the decline for Judah, and it was at the perfect time for Cotto. While this one is, I think Ennis still is a very dangerous guy.
So that fight, is there like somebody that you favor in that fight?
Yeah, I'm favoring Xander 100%. I just see his work ethic, and he got a great coach too. And you know, I think he's gonna be able to pull it off. And yeah, I fought Boots too. That was a long time ago, but he's definitely savvy as well and crafty in the ring. So uh, hopefully he's able to. We'll see if he gets to land any of those shots on Xander. But I think a lot of people underestimating Xander's abilities. You know, I think they're going more for the flashy stuff, what they see with Boots, and they're putting more weight on the flashiness than the actual efficiency of Xander.
The information coming from the Zayas camp strongly supports this new perception, revealing a fighter who has evolved far beyond the skinny prospect top rank first signed several years ago. He has transformed into a physically imposing junior middleweight who reportedly walks around at nearly 190 pounds outside of training camp. By adding layers of strong and functional muscle to his frame, Zayas now appears capable of absorbing world-class power while maintaining a rock-solid high guard. Combined with his natural reach advantage and a stiff, punishing jab, Zayas now possesses the physical tools